Hey, welcome to 1500ESPN.com. I'm Derek Wetmore. This is Andrew Kramer. We are here to break down the first preseason game where the Vikings beat the Raiders at TCF Bank Stadium 10-6 on Friday night. We're recording this on a Saturday morning. We just recorded Purple Podcast too, so check that out on the 1500 ESPN Sports Wire. Andrew here broke down all of the position battles that we're watching, from quarterback, defensive secondary, linebacker, tons of great stuff from that. So if you're interested in the Vikings, go give that a listen. But we'll give you a brief primer here, too, in the video. I think the number one takeaway that people were looking for, Andrew, was Teddy Bridgewater. How do you assess his performance, and was there another thing that you were watching closely?
Well, Mike Zimmer said it himself. Teddy looked like a rookie. That's to be expected for a guy that's just getting his first NFL action, just 9 months removed out of playing at Louisville. So what we saw out of him was pretty tentative at times. He did make some good decisions to step up into the pocket and deliver some throws, specifically when he was working with that first offensive line and Cordero Patterson and Greg Jennings and receivers like that. Once he got working with that second offensive line, got a little bit under pressure, saw some bullets flying his way. You could tell he was a little tentative, maybe a little holding it back a little bit, made some kind of snap decisions, threw some balls where he shouldn't have. I believe he finished 6 of 13, so he threw some balls into the dirt as well. And that's to be expected for a guy who's just getting out there and getting his first action. He played about 50% of the snaps, I believe, a little more than that for the quarterback's perspective. So it was good to just get that experience out of the way from him, and now Norv Turner and Mike Zimmer want to see that progression.
Right. Now, Matt Cassel obviously only played one drive. He led the Vikings down the field for a touchdown, which turned out to be the difference in the game. He probably would have liked to play a little bit more, but promising early developments from Cassel anyway?
Oh, no, it really is. And like I said before, I think with Norv Turner, he said he was going to be vanilla going into this. And if that was vanilla for Vikings fans, it has to be refreshing. Just because they're used to seeing the dink and dunk, the 5 yards per pass. Matt Cassel finished with, I believe, over 10 yards per completion. He was, I believe, 5 for 6 or something of the like. And that's good to see coming from the starting offense. And that's without Adrian Peterson.
Right.
Again, it's against a hapless Raiders defense that didn't look all that great, even with their starters or second-string guys. But Matt Cassel was able to stretch the field, especially on that 22-yard completion to Kyle Rudolph on a post route. Kyle didn't have to go that far, and he was wide open, and that's what you should expect to see from tight ends under Norv Turner.
Now, flipping to the other side of the ball, to defense, which is kind of the other, I think, unsolved mystery right now, specifically the defensive secondary and that second safety spot behind Harrison Smith. What have you seen there, and how are injuries contributing to that question right now?
Oh, yeah, they were without Robert Blanton, Jamarcus Sanford, Mistral Raymond left the game, and then Andrew Sendejo was also sitting out. So Kurt Coleman got the start alongside Harrison Smith, had an interception. He made the plays when they came his way. However, Anton Exum, the rookie that they drafted in the 6th round, played 90% of the snaps. He played with the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s. They clearly wanted to see what Anton could do in an NFL field, and he played all right. He obviously left some plays out there that weren't necessarily his best work, but for a rookie, he looked somewhat comfortable, especially settling down once he got to see a rookie Derek Carr throw the ball and stuff like that. But honestly, you're going to need to have a coverage safety pair with Harrison Smith, and that's why I think they wanted to see Exum out there so much, and that's why you saw Robert Blanton getting paired with him immediately before he got hurt. So I don't see Kurt Coleman necessarily being that guy. It might be a Chris Crocker, a Robert Blanton, or an Exum that starts week 1.
The other question on defense is the linebacking core. Obviously, we're most interested to see what Anthony Barr can do and how quickly he can come along to learn sort of the scheme. It kind of seems like they have him lining up as a starting linebacker, Andrew, with Jasper Brinkley and Chad Greenway. Is that what you saw yesterday, too?
It is, yeah. They put him on that strong side, and he played about 24 snaps. Mike Zimmer sent him on a blitz about 4 or 5 times, said that he maybe wanted to do that a little more just to put it on tape, but he got his first sack. He ended up blowing back one of the Raiders' fullbacks and got Matt Schaub down, so that's a positive sight. What I want to see from him, though, is how can he cover? He's the kind of guy that he's only played 2 years of defense, covering a tight end and a receiver. Well, he played a 3-4 in college, and so his coverage responsibilities were a lot different than what they're going to be in a 4-3 under Mike Zimmer. He's going to be asked to cover maybe a Jimmy Graham at times. Can he do that? Or are they going to try and bring Harrison Smith or Captain Munderland in there in the nickel to do that? So basically what I want to see from Anthony Barr in his progression is covering a little bit better. He got beat a little bit last night in coverage at times, but he looked all natural going after the quarterback.
Tons of great stuff on the website from last night. Read all of Andrew's coverage. I wrote a few stories. Judd Zolgad also had some columns up. 1500ESPN.com for all the best Vikings coverage. We'll be back in Mankato tomorrow covering the rest of training camp. Keep checking back to 1500ESPN.com for opinion, analysis, these awesome videos, some stories, new stuff from Andrew, columns from Judd, And now the 1500 ESPN Purple podcast. I highly recommend going and check that out. A loaded half hour of nonstop Vikings discussion with Andrew and I recorded this morning. So thanks for coming to the website, and we'll see you next time.